Understanding statement values is one of the most common misunderstandings investors have about market-linked certificates of deposit because the value reported on a brokerage statement differs from that of a traditional investment. One of the most important things investors need to focus on is that the value reported on their statement is only intended to be an estimate of the current market value. In other words, it reflects what you might receive if the market-linked CD is sold at the time the statement price is reported. It does not reflect the principal or potential interest you would receive at maturity. Market-linked CDs are buy and hold investments that are intended to be held until maturity. There may not be a liquid secondary market, and the value of the investments may be worth less than the principal amount if sold prior to maturity. The investment's reported value may fluctuate from statement to statement based on a variety of factors. The market-linked CD's statement value may be impacted negatively or positively depending on the direction each factor moves. Let's take a look at a few specific examples. Say you invested $100,000 in a bank-issued market-linked CD linked to an equity index with 7 years to maturity. Let's also assume the value on the initial statement shows $95,000. When you see that initial statement, you may wonder, why is the value of my market-linked CD less than what I deposited if this is a principal-protected investment? Most likely, the initial statement value will be lower than the amount invested. This could be due to multiple factors, including upfront fees relating to compensation and issuing and distribution fees. However, market-linked CDs will return at least the initial principal if held to maturity, subject to the credit risk of the issuer and FDIC insurance limits. Now, let's look at two scenarios halfway through the life of that same 7-year market-linked CD. If the reported value is down further, largely because the underlying asset's performance has declined, you may be concerned. That's why it's vital to remember that the minimum value at maturity is still equal to your initial investment. If the reported value is above the initial principal level, you should be aware that the value can still swing in either direction prior to maturity. At maturity, the full principal amount will be returned, plus any potential interest payments and/or capital appreciation, subject to the credit risk of the issuer. Principal invested in market-linked CDs is FDIC insured in the event of issuer insolvency up to the applicable limits. With a clear view of what your statement values represent, you can have the confidence you need to stay invested.